comments? When we get down to public comments, if any of you would like to speak, please raise. Could you call roll, please?
J.P. Deaton.
Here.
J.P. Olson.
Here.
J.P. Ritchie.
Here.
J.P. Johnson.
Here.
J.P. Phillips.
Here.
J.P. Hicks.
Here.
J.P. Watson. Here. J.P. McNeely.
Here.
J.P. Hawk.
Here.
J.P. Swafford.
Here.
J.P. Harton.
Here.
Thank you.
Next order of business, disposition of journal proceedings, approval of the previous minutes, any additions, if not, entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Lamont, who second?
Aye.
Marty second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're not public comments. If anybody would like to speak, please raise your hand. Yes, we have. Next is miscellaneous. Lamont, would you like to introduce?
I have John Strode from Ritter Communications. If you recall, Mr. Mauser was here in June, visited with you all about their request for a franchise to provide cable services in Carroll County. Since then, I have visited with them, have visited with Devin about this. In your packet, you'll find a template of an ordinance which they typically use in agreements between counties and cities to provide this service. So I've asked them here to address any questions you have. One of the issues that you all need to decide upon if you think you want to grant a franchise is if there will be any fee. In the proposed ordinance, none was mentioned. It's up to this body to decide if there will be one. It's not mandatory, but whatever it is needs to be put into the agreement. So, Mr. Strode, if you'd like to come up and...
Thank you. I'm John Strode, Vice President of External Relations for Ritter Communications. I'll give you a quick flyover of who we are. Ritter Communications is a subsidiary of E-Ritter & Company. E-Ritter & Company originated in Market Tree, Arkansas. The company now has two divisions, agriculture division and a communications division. I've been in the communications business since 1906. Our headquarters office is in Jonesboro, but we do have office operations in Western Grove, and we also have a commercial office in Jasper. What we are proposing to do today, we already provide video services, cable TV services in Alpena, along with some other cities. But as we are pushing out our high-speed internet, we're extending those outside city limits out into unincorporated areas, and as part of the upgrade, we are going to have the capability of providing IPTV, television service over internet that is for the customers that will look just like cable TV. And so to be able to do that, we need authority to operate in the county, outside the city limits in the unincorporated area. We need that authority from the county. One of the FCC's requirements is that we have that authority. So that's why we have proposed this ordinance. As I told Mr. Ritchie and Ms. Still, that there is this is a template. We're flexible. Now, if the county wants, there is space in here for a franchise fee. We'd like, because we didn't know what amount, what percentage you might want to put in there, if any. Still also had a question for me about the term of the franchise, of what we proposed is 15 years, but she had some reservations about that and not sure that that it can grant anything more than 10 years. We're flexible. If it's like 10 years, that's not something we're going to object to at all. We are, like I said, we're agreeable to making changes in this. We'd like to start the process, get the process moving forward. We will be in a position to begin offering the services this fall, and so we'd like to have this procedure cleared up, either have an ordinance or some sort of a grant of authority from the county, so that we would have that be legal to go ahead and provide those services this fall. So I'd be glad to answer any questions or try to answer any questions you may have.
Larry?
Is there anyone else providing cable service in out there?
Not to my knowledge. We're the only facility, to my knowledge, we're the only facilities-based provider in Alpena. Satellite companies are always there, but as far as having facilities in place, we're the only ones that provide video service.
How is this different from what Cox Communications does?
The service will look very similar to what Cox provides, and I guess Cox, the provider in Berryville, in terms of the channel lineup, it'll probably be very similar to theirs. I don't know exactly, but it'll be very similar. Look, like I said, for our customers, it'll look just like cable TV.
You run on phone lines?
It'll be on over, yes, sir.
John, believe in that?
Let me answer my question,
Mr. Watson?
Do you know what kind of construction, if any, would be involved?
We're already doing the work. It's an upgrade of our telephone facility, our existing telephone facilities in most places. There is some additional facilities being placed, but not in any places where we don't already have wires and cables today. So it'll just be an upgrade of those facilities.
John?
Two questions.
Yes, sir.
Do you have franchise in other areas of the state already? And if so, what did you pay for those?
Yes, we have franchises in many communities and in some counties in Arkansas. And the percentage of the franchise fee varies widely across the areas we serve. Some places don't charge franchise fee, and some, I think, charge up to 5%, which I believe is the maximum that you can charge under state law.
Is that, I'm sorry?
And just so that there's no question later about this, the franchise fee is an amount that would be passed straight through on the customer bill. So whatever, if the Quorum Court chooses to levy a fee on us, it would appear on the bill as a franchise fee, and that amount would be collected from the customer and remitted to the.
So how many customers do you think you might have?
That's hard to predict. I really don't know. Sorry.
Marty?
Are you running on Windstream's lines or
No, sir.
your own?
These are our Tri-County Telephone Company's facilities. So Tri-County is a subsidiary of Ritter Communications.
Just a point of clarification, they're in the southern part of the county, around the Carroll, Duke, and County line, so they bleed over into Carroll County.
Lamont?
One further point in terms of the franchise fee. Very often, cities will have franchise fees with utilities. State law specifically gives cities the power to grant franchises. There's not a comparable provision in state law for counties. But in cities, you typically have zoning rules and regulations. So what cities are being compensated for would be the issuance of permits and inspections and the like. We don't have that in the county. So if we were to set a fee, and I'm not arguing against the fee, I'm simply pointing out that whatever fee would be set should have some connection to what it is that we will be doing for the cable company, rather than just adding a fee on to the customer.
John,
Well, personally, I'd be against putting a fee on it, since it's passed straight to the customer.
go ahead.
Where there's, you don't have any, phone lines, and you've got Windstream running through there, are you going to spread into that area too?
We are not planning to, as today, our plan does not include extending facilities beyond where we are today, outside of our today's service territory. This is not an effort to expand into new areas.
Larry?
You're basically going to provide this in 437 prefix, which is Tri-County.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And just for my benefit, you are gonna reach on out there to the rural areas and not just a little bit out of Alpena. I mean,
You want, how far out? We will be extending out. I wouldn't say,
well,
it's not gonna be available to everybody in 437.
We are, yes, the first proposal, or the first provision we're doing is to increase our broadband speeds. The video will come after that. And yes, we're taking, just about everybody in a 437 number is going to have some kind of higher speeds. Do they have enough to go all the way to our full package of video? We probably don't know that yet. But everybody will have an increase in their broadband speed, some of them substantial. But I'd say footprint-wise, we're probably in our telephone service today, probably 96, 97% of those customers.
Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. One quick question. May we be excused? Thank you.
Next item of business is old business. We have none. So we'll move on to new business. Number A, would you read that, Ms. Karen?
Judge,
Sir?
I want to table this until I get with the next thing back and see if there's a grant for it.
Okay.
Some of the emails said it was for the reserve deputies, and it's strictly for situations where they like going in, serving a warrant, knowing something is liable to happen. But anyway, I just like to table it.
Okay.
Okay.
Judge,
Sir?
if I may add, I'm going to recommend that the Budget Committee review this also before the next.
Yeah, and I didn't do that as well, so, my bad.
I was gonna, Chuck does
No?
Chuck lives in.
Chuck?
I was gonna ask the sheriff, does Carroll County have a SWAT team?
No.
They don't. So this is not SWAT team equipment there.
No.
This would be for regular deputies that have,
Yes.
just in case they need.
Yes.
Next item of business is B. Would you read that, Ms. Karen, please?
Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Carroll, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled. An appropriation ordinance amending ordinance 2016-30, the 2017 budget ordinance, and appropriate additional funds to the Carroll County Sheriff's Office.
Move it up.
Second.
You second?
I did, Judge.
Mark, second. Any discussion? Yeah.
What this is the dispatch shares an air conditioner with the detention, and it's badly needs replaced. And the detention part had money for their part of it, but dispatch did not, and that's why we need to move money into there.
Chuck?
Is this air conditioner for the front end, or where the people are going to sit, or is this for the back end, where the equipment is in that back room?
You know, it's covered,
Yeah.
it's covered the equipment area plus a gathering room they've got back there, and I don't think it's gonna affect for the dispatchers.
Chuck?
Because when we took a tour a year or two ago, it was pretty stuffy in that room, where the dispatcher was gonna sit. So I don't know if that's been alleviated or not.
Sure.
It'll be for the dispatch area with consoles and then a multi-purpose room in the detention center. It's an additional AC unit that we went ahead and put in back where all the new equipment is that you're talking about that is generating the heat. Does that help?
Okay, yeah, so that's just where I wasn't one of you.
Anyone else? Call for the vote.
Can I want to confirm, and I apologize, I did not catch this prior to the meeting, but it's Fund 3020, our dispatch, correct? But we need Office 05, I mean, we don't have an office on there. I'm assuming, but I shouldn't assume, that because we set up a special fund for that as well. So Cindy, are we appropriating money from where to where? I just want to clarify.
On the
judge and I-
$3,800?
Yes, ma'am. And I did not catch that.
Do you need a copy of the ordinance?
It's stating it's going to be appropriated from Sales Tax Fund 3400 to Carroll County Dispatch 911 for Fund 3020, but it's not
From the
clarified.
sales tax into 3020, line item 4004.
Okay, that's a fund. So we're talking office. There's no office on here. I'm just confirming because when they set up, when dispatch was being moved,
Right.
we're
So
not
we need an
taking it
office
from
number.
there. We're going to actually put it in 911 dispatch, but there's no office number on here.
What office number do we use?
0500, I believe it is.
Okay.
I believe, I don't, it's not my office, I don't have it in front of me. Can the sheriff tell us what dispatch office is? Is it,
It probably is. See, look, I think I may have it here.
so when I go into the system and appropriate, Cindy, don't put it, I mean, we're saying it's from the sales tax. I don't have that budget. And I don't want to get it involved like we have our last one that needs to be cleaned up. What's your thought on that?
Well, I have several funds that Quorum Court does not appropriate and except at times like this.
Right.
So for my part, it is appropriating from the sales tax to the dispatch. So does it need to say treasurer's sales tax fund transfer?
I can take a break and go down to the office and get the budget because 3,400 is not ringing a bell to me. So is that just on your end then?
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to appropriate it in, when I get in my system in the county clerk's office, how would you like me to be putting that in?
You're going to just add that amount to your line item, and on my books, I'm just going to transfer it from the sales tax to.
Okay, and it's going to be okay with this ordinance is what I'm saying, Cindy, because it's
I
not.
don't know that it is.
It's not saying
So we're
from
just
that.
going to do the best we can.
Well, Jamie,
If there's a, you know,
I'm not going to
there's-
do anything that I don't feel comfortable with, and I don't feel comfortable with that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind if the JPs say let's amend it and I'll write it in, and then the judge and I can sign off on it, but
When we pass a budget ordinance, it gives the treasurer the authority
Correct.
to transfer from sales tax to these two funds on an as-needed basis.
yes.
That, it just says the treasurer's fund. So, for my part, it says what I need to say, but I understand what you're saying. Other than a line that says the clerk is instructed to appropriate an additional
That sounds
Amount.
wonderful, Cindy, because
We
how
need
this
that,
is
that
reading,
line to go there.
I don't feel comfortable because I don't have that money to take from to put with,
Pam and I discussed this. I didn't know for sure if it was coming out of the general or not, and that's why I had her call you to get the language on here, and that's the way it ended up. And I thought,
Well, the sales tax is to fund the dispatch as well, Jeff. So if you all would like to phrase it as in, you know, with just another sentence that says,
Now therefore, the
Speak.
county clerk is authorized to transfer $3,800
mhm.
is authorized to
to appropriate
Or she's not transferring, because she doesn't have that fund on her book.
to appropriate $3,800 to Office 500.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll,
I move to amend.
I got a question.
District.
Since we're getting ready to vote on spending this money on this, other than moving people physically over there, is it set up and ready to go?
But it's close.
I believe we got a motion on the table to amend, I hear a second. Not,
I move to amend that it reads, now therefore, the county clerk is authorized to appropriate $3,800 to Carroll County Dispatch Emergency 911, Office 500,
501, I'm sorry, Office
Oh.
501.
Office 501, line item 4004, machinery and equipment. Will that do it?
yes, thank you
Okay.
all very much. And I apologize, Judge, who seconded that amendment?
Dawn.
Thank you.
got a motion on the table to amend it, with the discussion on it.
Jeff, you guys anything?
Well, I was gonna ask a question about sizing, but that's not this amendment, so let's go on with the amendment.
Okay. Call for the vote.
J.P. Deaton,
Yes.
J.P. Olson.
Yes.
J.P. Ritchie.
Yes.
J.P. Johnson.
Yes.
J.P. Phillips.
Yes.
J.P. Hicks.
Yes.
J.P. Watson.
Yes.
J.P. McNeely.
Yes.
J.P. Hall.
Yes.
J.P. Swafford.
Yes.
J.P. Hamilton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now that the ordinance has been amended, do we read it again or just vote on it?
Just vote on it, I think.
Any more discussion on it? Chuck?
The only question I have is the sizing of it. $3,800 doesn't seem like a real big unit to me, but maybe it is.
Jack?
That's half the price of it. That's,
Okay, that's only half.
dispatch is paying half, detention's paying half, and if it, we're hoping this any time now.
Any more discussion?
Thank you.
Call for the vote.
J.P. Deaton,
Yes.
J.P. Olson,
Yes.
J.P. Ritchie,
Yes.
J.P. Johnson,
Yes.
J.P. Phillips,
Yes.
J.P. Hicks, J.P. Watson,
Yes.
J.P. McNeely,
Yes.
J.P. Hall,
Yes.
J.P. Swafford,
Yes.
J.P. Hamilton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ordinance passed. Next item of business is under E. Would you read that, Ms. Jim, please?
Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Carroll, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending ordinance 2009-15, Section 3, amended April 6, 2009, of the Carroll County Employee Policy Manual regarding the longevity payments found on page 26, Section D, number 1.
Ms. Watson moved to adopt. Do I hear a second? Larry, second. Okay, any discussion?
I would like to just say that this is part of redoing the employee policy manual by the personnel committee. We've already done an improvement of the vacation schedule, and this is related to the longevity compensation. I passed out a new updated page because the chart was not in color on the Xerox, and so you couldn't tell what the different codes were. But as you can see, the budget impact is minimal, and I think that this makes an improvement, makes it easier for the employees because we moved it to be 5, 10, 15 instead of odd years like 8, 13, and 18. So it's a little cleaner, a little clearer, and actually a better benefit for the employees. Any questions?
Any discussion? None.
Is this to try to keep the employees to stay longer, to quit leaving? That's why I was saying that we don't have very many over 2 years.
Yes.
That's a good idea, because you train them, then they leave and start over training somebody else to do it.
Anyone else? Call for the vote.
J.P. Deaton,
Yes.
J.P. Olson,
Yes.
J.P. Ritchie,
Yes.
J.P. Johnson,
Yes.
J.P. Phillips,
Yes.
J.P. Hicks,
Yes.
J.P. Watson,
Yes.
J.P. McNeely,
Yes.
J.P. Hall,
Yes.
J.P. Swafford,
Yes.
J.P. Howerton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item of business is under D. Would you read that, Ms. Jamie, please?
A resolution authorizing the county judge of Carroll County, or AR, to enter into a grant agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration for taxiway rehabilitation at Carroll County Airport. Whereas the Carroll County Airport Commission, CCAC, is undertaking the rehabilitation of the taxiway at the Carroll County Airport, and whereas the project is estimated to cost $235,595, with 90% being provided from the Federal Aviation Administration grant and the matching 10% being provided by the Arkansas Department of Aeronautics grant. And whereas the FAA grant, AIP 3-05-0007-01602017, requires that the governing body affirms that there are adequate funds to meet the 10% match obligation. And whereas CCAC has committed to the Quorum Court that its 10% match obligation, $23,590.10, will be provided by a grant from the Arkansas Department of Aeronautics. Now therefore be it resolved that the county judge is authorized to sign the agreement for FFA grant AIP 3-05-0007-01602017 on behalf of Carroll County, Arkansas.
Move to approve.
John moved to approve. Do I hear a second? Marty, second. Any discussion? John?
Pretty self-explanatory, just a vehicle the county has for applying for this grant, 90/20, or 90/10. So,
Jack?
They double check, a lot of grants does not allow you to use another grant to do matching. Just wonder if they double check on that.
say that again?
A lot of I've been involved in a lot of grants, and it's highlighted that you cannot use another grant to do your matching part. Have you checked in on that?
Use another grant?
Do your 10% match. Some grants will not allow that.
I've not heard that scenario in this case, no. We're talking about two separate entities, the FAA and the state. Now, I don't know what you mean by another grant.
You've got a grant, a 90-10 grant.
Right.
Okay.
90 FAA, 10 state.
10% is supposed to be, you come up with 10% of the money, the grant's come up with 90% of the money. A lot of times, they do not allow you to use another grant to pay that 10%.
Negative, not in this case.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Someone?
A year ago, we authorized the application for a grant for the rehabilitation of the runway. And that was the same type of scenario where the 10% was coming from the state. And this program under the state is designed specifically to help local airports meet their 10% match obligation.
Sandy?
I just want to make the court aware that this $235,000 spent will go into the pool of $500,000 spent, which would be a total of all of our county grants. If we spend over $500,000, then that triggers a single audit. and will cost the county from 10 to 14,000. And we've done that in the past, I just wanted to let you know that.
Any more discussion? Mr. Moss?
One more point. In the past, we've talked about the other indebtedness of the airport, the amount that is paid to the county for a match that we covered for them since the grant fell through, and the line of credit at Equity Bank. At one time, the amount that was owed by the airport was in excess of $100,000. The balance as of May is $39,900. So they have made considerable draw down on each line of credit.
Our current balance on property is 22,204, and on the 8-bay hangar is 16,200.
Okay.
We started out at 77,000.
Right.
And 45,000 on each.
Okay, you made a couple of payments that I since made then.
Any more discussion? Call for the vote.
J.P. Deaton,
Yes.
J.P. Olson,
Yes.
J.P. Ritchie,
Yes.
J.P. Johnson,
Yes.
J.P. Phillips,
Yes.
J.P. Hicks,
Yes.
J.P. Watson,
Yes.
J.P. McNeely,
Yes.
J.P. Hall,
Yes.
J.P. Swafford,
Yes.
J.P. Howardson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Next item of business is B. Would you read it, Ms. Jamie, please?
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution authorizing a part-time employee to go as a full-time employee for Eureka Springs Carnegie Library. Whereas the Eureka Springs couple has made a gift to the Carroll County Library Foundation to fund a program called Raising a Reader. And whereas this program will be managed by an employee of the Eureka Springs Carnegie Library, April Griffith, who currently is a part-time employee working 26 hours per week. And whereas the duties connected with the position will require an additional 9 hours per week, making it necessary to change the employee status from part-time to full-time for as long as funds are available to fund the program. And whereas this change of status will have no financial impact on the county, since all costs associated with the program, including but not limited to personnel, supplies, and travel, shall be covered by the gift made to the foundation. Now therefore be it resolved that the employment status of Eureka Springs Carnegie Library employee April Griffith is hereby changed from part-time to full-time.
Move to adopt.
Moss moved to adopt, Dunn second. Any discussion?
This is a program, a nationwide program, but we have a couple in Eureka Springs who wish to remain anonymous, and they've donated an initial $20,000 to fund this project. In the beginning, they thought that they would run the project, but they travel a lot, so they wanted it done by the library. This program focuses on parents with small children and teaches them to read out loud to their children, to get them involved with books, to allow the kids to get involved with books, and then eventually to bring the kids into the library so that their relationship with reading will be further stimulated by the books being surrounded. So the $20,000 will cover salary. There will be books and additional shelving that will be bought. The largest part of the $20,000, in fact, will go for shelving, books, travel for meetings, enrollment in the national organization. April understands that when this program ends, when it no longer is being funded, that she will not be a full-time employee unless circumstances otherwise change in the library that we could justify a full-time employee. We're still working out some of the details on the allocation of the money. It's going to be transferred from the Carroll County Library Foundation to the county to be paid out on behalf of the program.
Any more discussion? Call for the vote.
J.P. Deaton?
Yes.
J.P. Olson?
Yes.
J.P. Ritchie?
Yes.
J.P. Johnson?
Yes.
J.P. Phillips? J.P. Hicks?
Yes.
J.P. Watson?
Yes.
J.P. McNeely?
Yes.
J.P. Hall?
Yes.
J.P. Swafford?
Yes.
J.P. Howardson.
Yes.
Thank you.
AP comments on non-agenda items, do we have any? Ms. Watson?
Just one,
Ms. Watson's first.
This is information, I attended the annual Association of Counties meeting on August the 9th, and I wanted to bring a brief report and also requests that came out of that meeting. The National Association of Counties representative, his name is Greg Cox, and he's the second vice president. He indicated that the national important county issues are helping to share federal programs, poverty, jobs, health care, FEMA regulations, and the waters of the United States that was a federal overreach. And so his basic motto for the National Association of Counties is caring for those who are left behind. So I wanted to bring you that just as an informational report. But the request that came out, actually came out of the Quorum Court Association segment at the meeting. And David Thompson is the president there, and he invited State Representative Scott Bennett, and he's from the Arkansas Department of Transportation. Scott said that there's great concern for the funding that's going to shrink drastically in the future for roads. And he says that we've been too dependent on federal government. By 2021, he expects a 40% cut in highway funding. And his request that came out of that meeting was they have developed a survey to try to identify ways in which to increase the funding for what's going to be required for highway improvements. This is an optional survey that you can turn back in. Did you want to look at it before I pass it around? Okay, so I'll pass one of these around. I also have some for any citizens who want to be involved, so I'll put this out at the end of the meeting. If you want to be involved in the survey that determines how funding can be improved in the future, they're looking at increasing gas taxes, diesel taxes, sales tax, vehicle registration fees, so our property assessment, people will be interested in that, sales tax on motor fuels, and any other options that they would be open to looking at. But apparently sometime in the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to be in a situation where we're not going to have enough funding to really keep up with the needs of road improvement. So I'll put this out at the end. Along those lines, there's one other thing. There is going to be some free training in Eureka Springs in October, and it's called Training for Unpaved Roads, and it's a free training session on how to use the most current technology and standards for road repair, and also how to apply for grants. So this, and given that we're going to be looking to apply for a lot of grants for road health in the future, both for highway and for local road improvement, we might want to put forth a little extra effort in the next couple of years to look for the grants that we can apply for. And so this October session in Eureka Springs, which is really close by here, will train us on how to do that. So anyone who wants to go to that training, I'll have other information. I'll pass it out as I get the specific times. But it's October the 16th in Eureka Springs.
Chuck, you're next.
yes, the 911 dispatch move has been, I don't know if it's been delayed or just kind of moving slowly, but we're addressing now, just went to e-dispatch, and there's several features of e-dispatch that we can't use until get our new equipment and stuff in. So, maybe next month or so we could have a report as what is the hang up, why are we taking this long to get it installed, and when are we going to be done?
Jack, you were next.
I don't have to put this through, but anyway, I know that the judge had been trying to do some horse trading on this piece of property we got down at Care Electric. He thought he had an idea, and we figured out it wasn't legal to do it that way. In the meantime, the word got out, that, well, the Quorum Court will never approve it anyway. So what I'm gonna throw out now, Devin and the judge is talking and working, trying to figure another way we can dispose of that property and maybe do something else with it. I'm just gonna throw this, does anybody have a problem with us trying to get rid of that piece of property that's on the corner?
Someone said it's illegal to give county property. Oh,
Now you can talk.
excuse me. Somebody said it was illegal to give county property away. Is that true? I'm asking that. Otherwise, it's not doing us any good, right?
No, the other one we can use.
Yes.
Don,
Can you sell it for a penny to somebody?
who else? can-
Sell it for 1 penny.
Can't do that.
Larry?
So we can't trade it for the other spot that you were gonna do the trading?
That's true with the Quorum Court, I believe.
Well,
Jack?
the way we were looking at it, under that statute, you can only trade with other counties or municipalities, in some instances, schools. And Care Electric doesn't fall into any of those three, so we had to throw it out the window. So David is looking into a different way of doing it now and working with the judge, and maybe we can make something happen.
Well, I mean, we've not got a major rush on it. She can look into that and let us know if she's found out something next meeting.
Hopefully. My question was, does anybody really have a legitimate reason we shouldn't do something with it? Because evidently somebody said something to Care Electric that, no, the Quorum Court will never pass it. And I don't understand how that come up, so. But anyway, I just thought I'd get it out on the table if we do need to talk about it, so. That's all I have.
Don?
Last week I was able to listen to the state attorney, state auditor, Andrew Lee, and she talked about how when she took her office, she had a few things, she'd ask for staff about this or that, and they said, well, that's the way we always done it. That's the way we always done it. Well, she told her staff not to say that no more, give her better answers. So directly a guy comes in, gives the mail to him, and he was just dressed like all the rest of us, regular clothes, casual clothes, and hat on, ball cap. She said, who's that guy? He said, that's our mailman. We have a private box off somewhere. He picks our mail up and brings it to us every week. We pay him $155. She said, well, don't we have a box here at the Capitol? She said, oh, yeah, we've got that post office box, too. She said, well, let's tell that man he's fired. We don't need that no more. So then, next few days, the guy come in there, he starts spraying for insecticide in her office. And she's got asthma, she said. She didn't like that, and she called the Department of the State Capitol Building and said, aren't you in charge of taking care of insecticides and stuff? He said, oh, yeah. She said, well, what's this guy up here spraying? She said, the previous auditor hired this guy personally. We pay him every month to come spray. And she said, well, that guy lost his job. But anyway, in a month's time, in her just one office, she saved $2,000 a month not doing the same thing every time, the way it's always been done. So I just thought I'd bring that up to SJP's.
Anyone else? Marty?
What kind of security does the courthouse have? Do we have any security?
No.
Being monitored by anybody, any cameras, anything?
We got cameras, and we're working on improving those.
Okay. Well, I was wondering, for instance, security was wanting to come in and talk to us. And they provide security for Wilson Combat, Nighthawk, and a lot of businesses in town. And I was wondering if it'd be all right to put him on the agenda for, the 10 minutes comment next month.
I think it's already installed, just waiting for this to move out.
Okay. Well, I didn't
Tempo Sound has already installed the system. Mr. Phillips?
I was just curious on the status on the voting machine, on whether they're going to come in or on what, if you know anything on that.
When I was down in Little Rock for the big meetings, governor spoke, and they were going to have another meeting last week. I haven't heard from anybody, but it's been put on hold. So, get to talking.
Any more deputy comments? If not, I thank you all and entertain a motion to adjourn.
Also,
Jack moves, who second? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Thank you all.
I'm sitting here being nice.
It's far as Carol Lake.
Whoever Carol
They
Lake.
need our okay to come in.
Quorum Court, let them know that we're not right. Give us
You hold tight, right now I got, hold tight.
Yeah.